So if you saw the first video, you'll know that I wake up at 4 a.m. in order to write. And I might have offhandedly mentioned that it's like the only way that I actually can write. The big focus of my life right now is actually trying to optimize everything that I do in order to write as much as possible, and also basically to work around the fact that I have to work full time while getting as much done as I possibly can. I wrote this novella, Cuirassar, and Cuirassar was actually my very first completed novel kind of work. When I started doing my 4 a.m. thing, I actually was able to blast through 3,000 words a day, but they were the highest quality words I could produce, and I was actually able to complete Cuirassar, which is about 100 pages worth of material in a matter of just a few weeks. I was able to finish it that way. It was really amazing. It was really quite something. And so since that time, I haven't been able to turn back from waking up at 4 to work. It's like the only way I can actually work and feel good about what I'm doing.
You have entered the lair of the 4 a.m. nap troll. To pay the toll, a bottle of Jose Cuervo is necessary.
If you're having trouble waking up at 4, I have 2 words for you. Smartphone. I have 1 word for you. Smartphone. You take your smartphone, you turn it on, and you open up YouTube and you listen to some music according to whatever mood that you want to write for the day. For example, I'm writing sci-fi, and so I'll open up a science fiction movie soundtrack. This morning I opened up Interstellar. But basically, the combination of the bright blue screen along with some sort of audible stimulation means that your brain is actually going to wake up really fast, because suddenly your brain has to do something, provided you didn't only sleep 2 hours or something. You should be fine. I'd like to apologize for the noise here. My air conditioner is on. That's a necessity, and so unfortunately it's going to be joining me throughout the entire vlog.
I wish I could show you my room, except that it's neglected.
And some people think that coffee is the kind of thing that wakes them up faster, which to an extent that's true. But the issue, of course, is that if you drink too much coffee habitually, your brain doesn't wake up quite as fast without it. Now, I don't know if you can tell right now, I'm up, I'm awake. My maximum caffeine intake per day is about the equivalent of 2 cups. I have my 1 scoop of coffee in my bean juice concoction, but then I also will have 1 spoonful of instant coffee in my protein shake throughout the day. That's basically it. I used to be up to 6 or 7 cups. Now, here's a tip. 6 or 7 cups a day, it's no longer a crutch. That's an addiction. It's actually a heavy weight. If you drink less coffee, ironically, you will be less tired, which is why I want to do a caffeine detox. It's just so hard. It's just so hard to just kick it for the last bit. It's honestly, it reminds me of the time where I quit cigarettes. It was really tough. Here's the big question, because in order to wake up at 4, you gotta go to sleep at 8 for your solid 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep is so necessary. Some people say, oh, I can function fine on 6. Okay, whatever. You're you. I find that in order to even function throughout the day, I need 8. I gotta get my 8. So I gotta go to sleep at 8 so that I get 8 hours of sleep. Here's how you go to sleep at 8 p.m. I'm gonna give you the short version. 1 is you work hard through the day. 2, you exercise. 3, you wake up at 4 the morning of so that you are tired enough to go to sleep at 8. And then you just kind of keep doing that. But the important part is you wake up at 4, you're tired throughout the day, you basically kind of restart your cycle by falling asleep at 8. And you wake up at 4 and you just, you have, what I do is I have 3 alarms set. One at 4 o'clock, one at 4:05, one at 4:08, And then those kind of get me a good kick in the pants so that I'm ready to actually get started at 4 o'clock. And there's some amazing nights where like I go to sleep at 8 and then I actually wake up at 3:30 and I can't fall back asleep, and so then I'll actually get started extra early, which is perfect. But if you had told me that I was the kind of person to like wake up and be energetic at 4 a.m., I would have laughed at you and told you were crazy. I thought that was impossible for me. I was like, I'm a night owl. I'm a night owl. You can't ask me to wake up. You can't ask me to wake up early. That's inhumane. That's rude. Oh, I can't believe you would give me advice on the things I actually need to do for what I want out of life. Oh, it's so horrible. Can't believe you do that to me. Ooh. So why 4 a.m. specifically? Well, I have to get started for work at 7. I have work at 8. So for me, I wake up at 4. I have like about an hour where I don't expect anything of myself. Then I have a solid, clean, absolute peak performance 2 hours to write. Now, when I say peak performance, I do mean peak performance. I also find that my editing capabilities are intensely improved because, you know, the magic is in the rewriting, right? And so 4 a.m. gives me 2 hours of prime writing in the day, which to me is actually equivalent to about 4 hours of writing when I try to write after work. Here's a little moral, or not moral, here's a little dilemma, or account as a measure of progress. And there's also quality. Does it make sense to focus on word count or quality? Well, it depends how long it takes to actually edit something into something nice. I can easily say that I've actually saved time by focusing on writing in the morning. One, because my focus is all there, and so in general, like, you know, overall time spent is less. The quality is better because my mind is at its freshest. It's actually less distracted. It's less concerned. I find at the end of the day, there's a lot of critical sort of processing capabilities that end up actually sabotaging my writing. Some people will ask, "Why are you waking up at 4? Doesn't that mean you can't hang out with friends?" Here's the tough part. I actually don't really have a lot of friends. I've got like one really good friend that I hang out with like once a year. Otherwise, like I kind of keep it limited to like my girlfriend and my family. The 4 a.m. thing, you know, people don't want to do it because it involves sacrifice. But if you're already working full time and you want to be a writer or an artist or, you know, anything else, you gotta make sacrifices. Because nobody became famous by writing like less than 30 minutes a day in the middle of their extremely viable social scene, while also working full time. You know, people had to make choices. They have to make sacrifices. So some artists, what they'll do is they'll work less than full time. They'll work basically part time. They'll subsist off of ramen noodles, which I do anyway. They subsist off of ramen noodles, and they write while starving half to death. But they can also hang out with friends every once in a while. Now, I've chosen the route where I want to make more money, and I want to write. So I'd like to reach out to all of my fellow authors who might be watching this vlog. And my big question is, what are the optimizations that you're going for? If you want to write well every day, what's holding you back? What are the sacrifices you know you need to make? Put them in the comments below. The topic of the next vlog is not decided, but I do have a promise for you. I'm gonna be getting drunk this weekend. I'm gonna be getting wasted this weekend. Because as Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober. I think it was metaphorical, but I have half a bottle of Jose Cuervo from the last attempt, and if that went to waste, I would be kind of upset.